Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for rejoining us. This is week number 5. Again, this is week number 5, and I'm coming to you today from the book of Samuel. That's 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 7. Again, that's the book of Samuel, 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 7. This is week 5. And the verse states, "Don't judge a man by his face or height, for this is not the one. I don't make decisions the way you do. Men judge by outward appearance, but I look at a man's thoughts and intentions." I'll say that again. Don't judge a man by his face or height, for this is not the one. I don't make decisions the way you do. Men judge by outward appearance, but I look at a man's thoughts and intentions. Okay. Today we have 6 life application notes that are in line with this verse. And I'll go ahead and get to those here in a moment. But just a quick comment on the verse today. This is coming from the book of Samuel, right? Samuel, during this time in Israel, was the one who was to put in place the first kings in Israel. And of course, this story progressed, and David came into the picture as he would be the king of Israel. But before David, there was another king, and his name was Saul. So this conversation about choosing the one, choosing the person who in this case should have been in the position of highest responsibility, or who is going to be able to meet that need, it's you being able to meet that need. The focus should definitely be on inner strength and on inner character. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it here. Okay, so the first life application note brings attention to the fact that it's not your thoughts and it's not, excuse me, it is not going to be, we can't look inside of someone and tell what they're thinking. You can develop a sense of, but you do not know their thoughts and intentions. You don't know. God knows this, and it is going to be your thoughts and your intentions that actually count. King Saul was impressive. He was impressive looking, rather. So Samuel may have been trying to find a tall and handsome man, someone with a strong physical presence, to be the next king of Israel, to be the king of Israel. But God would end up choosing a young boy. He would end up choosing David, who reasonable people would assume would be an unlikely candidate. So what happened? God knew that David was the correct choice. God knew what David was like on the inside, and he knew what David would become. Okay? Now, when you feel overlooked by the crowd because of your outward characteristics, remember that it is what is inside that counts. That is where God looks. Our second life application notes focuses on the sense of society. Now, society values appearance very much. Society values appearance very strongly. Now, God warned Samuel against judging by appearances, and we all should heed this warning. Now, unfortunately, being that society values appearances so strongly, this is oftentimes what we see, that beautiful people often get the attention. They often get the promotions. They often get additional considerations. But when we judge by outward physical characteristics, we may overlook qualities in people. We may overlook quality individuals as a whole, simply because we're looking for and we're looking at the wrong things. Appearance doesn't reveal what people are really like, or what their true value is. So don't be fooled by the outside package. It's important to look deeper. As far as your last application note number three, we should realize that looks don't tell us much. Looks do not tell us very much. It's easy to make quick assumptions about others because of the way they look or because of the way that they dress. But think of how often those first impressions have been wrong. Think of how often you've assumed one thing and it's been something entirely different. The aloof person can easily be someone that's very shy, and someone that's very shy being completely aloof. The overweight neighbor could end up being a great friend, and the scary looking individual might often turn out to be, could easily turn out to be quite kind or an even very loving person. So it's important to understand and to comprehend, all right, we have to look a little bit deeper. A person's looks just don't tell us that much. Life application four focuses on the fact that God has a plan for you. God has a plan for us, for me, for you. And it's important to understand that this plan is specific to who we are. God had specifically chosen David. God had chosen David to play a very important role in his plan. Now, God knew that David was the right person because of his character, because of his abilities, and because of his personality, and last but not least, his willingness to serve. Okay? God's plan for you is special. God has a very special plan for you. God has a plan for you, a very special place for you, and how and where He wants you to be able to serve Him. Okay? So be the kind of person that's that he can use. Our fifth application of this afternoon is focus on the fact that only God can accurately judge people. All right, only God can accurately judge people. You might think, "Oh no, I know this person." As far as thoughts and intentions, this is something that tends to be dynamic. It's evolving. It changes. People can change their mind. So you think you've been kind of focused and found and targeted and identified what someone's thoughts is, and then it's gone. It's changes like that. It's important to realize that only God can accurately uh, judge people. Okay? Fortunately, God judges by faith and God judges by character, not appearances. Right? And because only God can see on the inside, this is why only He can accurately judge people. Okay? Too often, however, we are quick to judge a person's thoughts, their motives, and their intentions very quickly. So it's important to remember not to rush. Don't rush to judgment. Don't rush to judge people. Give them the benefit of the doubt. To give it time. Okay? And our sixth life application note for this evening is focused on this point of us needing to develop and should the fact that we should focus on developing our inner character. Okay, so most people spend hours each week maintaining their outward appearance, right? Whether that's getting yourself ready for your day, taking a shower, putting on whatnot, a little bit of perfume or cologne, and then going out or working out, right? Working out for aesthetic reasons or working out for competitive reasons. You spend hours maintaining what ends up becoming this outward appearance. They should, we should spend and do even more than that in order to develop our inner character. Okay. Now, while everyone can see your face, see my face, while everyone can see your face, only God knows what your heart really looks like. Okay. So, what steps are you taking to to improve what's inside of you? What steps are you taking to improve what's inside of you? Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's our sixth life application notes to go in line with this Bible verse. Again, it's from the book of Samuel, First Samuel chapter 16, verse 7, and this is week number 5. And I'll repeat the verse for you here. It is, "Don't judge by a man's face or height, for this is not the one. I don't make decisions the way you do. Men judge by outward appearances, but I look at a man's thoughts and intentions." All right, then, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Have a good afternoon. Have a good day, the rest of your day. God bless you. And I look forward to joining you all again next week. God bless. Bye bye now.